Good afternoon. Hello, this is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness. And I'm here today to talk about Venus going into Sagittarius. Venus is now traveling into Sagittarius. So we are having a more fun-loving attitude with everything. We're loving the whole world. Um, those relationships that are not very open or very jealous and dominating, manipulative are going to have some difficulty during this time, especially with Saturn in Scorpio right now. So I really suggest that those of you who are having insecurity issues and financial situations where you want to dominate or just manipulate because you yourself are having your own issues, you're going to have to check that at the front door. Or since it's Venus and Sagittarius, you're going to have to check that at the next planet, okay? So what else is going on is that Uranus right now is uh, doing this push and pull with Saturn. And so when we get Mars going in there, it's going to create conflict again. So unexpected things are happening. So please take things slowly, gently. Once again, always know that astrology is used to help guide us, not necessarily to do something instead. For example, it's like the weather report. We know the weather tells us a hurricane is coming. We can't avoid it. No matter what, the hurricane's coming. So we either tie ourselves to a tree, we board up the walls, we go under, the attic, whatever, go under the attic, that was funny, the cellar, go where it is, or leave, but either way, that hurricane's can happen. So those situations, the planetary influences, is like the weather. Either way it's going to happen, we have to maintain ourselves to be very grounded, like tying ourselves to a tree, and knowing that will always help, and that is very important. I'm also going to bring up that Mercury is going into retrograde next week around the 21st, and so know that before Mercury goes into retrograde, it always has its storms, so it starts about a week before, so about the 14th of this month of October, we're going to already start feeling it when it starts going into the station. I remember Mercury really doesn't go backwards, okay? It just, we pull into a different direction, and at that time, it feels like as if it's going backwards. It's kind of like when we feel we're parked next to a semi or another car, and that car is moving forward, all of a sudden we feel like we're going backwards. When we're not, it's the other car, okay? So about this, either way, it is doing this pull into a different direction, and we need to understand what does that mean, okay, and how to affect us. Mercury in retrograde, all right, is not a good time to buy any new electronics, new technology, new cars, or any new communication systems, okay, because Mercury is the planet that is in charge of communications and electronics. So know that if you do, there might be some I would get a guarantee when you buy it during that time. Mercury is retrograde from October 21st, but the station's already happening on the 14th, all the way up to the 10th of next month. So a good 4.5, 5 weeks, including the station periods, okay? Thank goodness it's not happening Black Friday come in November, right? So as it did last year. And during Mercury retrograde is not the best time to sign any contracts, okay? It's a time to review, recheck, rest, okay? And since Mercury is being retrograde in Scorpio, know you're going to get all these water sign peoples from your past come in, or in your life that's going to require more attention, especially those Scorpio people, okay? And they're coming out of the woodworks because it's retrograde. They're communicating more, and since it's retrograde, they're also thinking things of the past and dealing with that. And having that sextile with Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn, that's really giving it another support system in the psychological area, and knowing that is happening. And then we got Jupiter in there too, so in Cancer. So it's going to be dealing, they might be coming out and saying, hey, do you recall this? Oh goodness, they might want closure, or they might want a new beginning. Starting a brand new relationship during Mercury retrograde is not always suggested, because it is time for review and dealing with the past, revise, remake, so recheck, all the re's, all right, as very important. Though going into a relationship that you were in before and it broke up and going back in during Mercury retrograde usually is substantial, usually gives a good basis and staying steady, okay? So we reviewed real quickly that Venus is going into Sagittarius, is in Sagittarius, so that's a fun-loving time, animal time. Those of you who are psychic energy healers or do communicate a lot with animals, you probably feel like you're hearing them more. Okay, it is a time of wanting to be outdoors and really enjoying life and having a good time. Being serious is not allowed with Sagittarius. Remember, Sagittarius has a big connection with the universe and being what's out there, not focusing on what's right here. Remember, dealing and focusing on the practicalities of the here and now on this planet of surviving is really not our purpose. Okay, it is our soul growth that is our purpose. Those people who focus on just trying to survive are not living. And if you are not living, you are not growing and you're not moving on to the next dimension. Again, so that we did with Venus and Sagittarius. We also talked about Mercury in retrograde, okay? And we also talked about the push and pull of Uranus, okay? And dealing with Saturn and knowing that how Mars is going to kind of push that over. So, and again, those of you remember Jupiter in Cancer, you water signs, be careful of overindulging. You can gain some weight, okay? And usually that's not weight that's easily lost, okay? So once again, drink a lot of water, especially since we are, a sun is in Libra. Cleanse out your kidneys and your bladder. You need a lot of water. Soda's not going to cut it. Fruit juices. Remember, sodas dehydrate. Fruit juices dehydrate. For every a can of Monster, every can of soda, you need 5 just to get it right back to where it was before hydrating. Yes, before hydrating. So that means 8 glasses plus that 5. All right, 13 glasses total. All right, if not, you're putting constriction and not allowing good circulation, oxygen to go through your heart and into your blood system to push out the waste. And then after a while, your organs do collect all those toxins. Just like a car gets slush and all that stuff in its engine and its, pipe systems, so do our bodies, all right? So this is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness and wishing you love and healing light to all of you. And know that anytime when you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling a little bit anxious, just take in deep breaths. Call in your spirit light team. Call in Mother Gaia. Call in Father Time and our divine creator. And just fill yourself in from your top chakra all the way down to your feet. And know that you are loved. You are loved by all this beautiful energy all around us. And I send you healing, love, and light. Have a good day.